what's really interesting, I'll use the example of anger because anger is something that I think anger or anxiety, anything that has a very strong emotional reaction, okay? Essentially the amygdala hijacks the entire brain and it says like, okay, all hands on deck and if you express that anger or anxiety, and I don't mean express it in a way that we're getting relief from it, this is going to be too much, okay? What happens is that my prefrontal cortex shrinks, and the prefrontal cortex is responsible for thinking and cognition. Okay. But if I deny that, if instead of just getting angry, I withstand that, instead of just rolling over in bed and sleeping for another hour instead of getting up and going to the gym, when I learn self-discipline, when I learn that ability to not respond to all of the cues in my brain and doing everything on a whim, my prefrontal cortex literally grows. It gets bigger. And so when we have these moments, and this is why consistency is the real MVP of anything that we do in life. This is why one pill won't fix anything, that we have to have a strategy, but we have to keep showing up in the boring day-to-day, doing the thing. Whatever it is, exercise, eating, meal planning, figuring more stuff out. Anytime that we resist the brain's drive to just want to express in this really messy way, we actually cultivate that self-discipline on a neurological level. In other words, we make a map for how our body will and our brain will respond when we get flooded with emotion. And this is why when we see somebody, and we talk about it as emotional intelligence, but emotional intelligence is very simply understanding that I cannot always respond to the chemical reactions that are going on in my brain, that anxiety, that anger, that disgust. Okay. I cannot always respond to that. And when I learn that and I follow up with that, then what happens is that I actually create this really beautiful map in the brain on how to respond to those emotions. And that looks like self-control. That looks like the person who can be quiet while being yelled at, or can insist that they're not going to be talked to and absolutely look very, very calm and walk away calm and not get offended, not get hijacked, because they have practiced it time and time again so that it's not even something they have to think about anymore.